nuisance than anything because we got to pull everybody off. The engineering team pull them off and stick them on that for a good 30 minutes to an hour, and then shut down the network for a few minutes. So as we had the network shut down, we were gonna, obviously we deployed the Saita Realty token, and we were running some test swaps and just making sure that everything was working good because there's, it's a pretty complex contract, right? There's about 3 different indications in there where we got to do the swap and liquefy to USDT and, with the capital and the marketing wallet and the burn and all that. So it's pretty complex, right? It's nothing crazy, but it's not just your traditional basic ERC20 smart contract. So we were doing some testing on it. Anyhow, so as we were doing some testing, there's a few wallets that we had on there running testing, and then about 20 plus wallets were able to actually transact through our router, where they were able to push the swap through our router without the swap function or without the platform being enabled. So, we were able to stop it or whatever, but at that point we already had like 20 wallets established, and that's not a fair launch at all. And we didn't want speculation of people coming in like, well, that's not a fair launch. You guys gave access to 20 of your friends and family, or you did airdrops, or you did, whatever. And it was not the case at all. And we didn't, in order to just eliminate that, right, shut down. It's already 11 o'clock at night, 12 on the East Coast. We'll rewrite the exact same contract, and we'll redeploy it, let everybody get some sleep. And when it's ready to go, we'll give everybody, obviously enough heads up notice to do that. So, but we'll open back up the wallet for everybody and, add the liquidity for the other tokens, and, everybody just kind of take a breather, and then we'll have a more sanctioned and a better approach to it to allow this thing to launch as smooth as possible. I think that's probably what's most beneficial at this point. We don't want people staying up any later than they have to, and then having, open it up and activating the network, and then, if somebody says, hey, I can't get back on for whatever reason, or I can't swap, or, we didn't want to deal with all that and then rush everyone as it is, and wanting to have everybody have an equal opportunity, and not starting out of the gate with 20 wallets already holding, 10 to 50 trillion coins. That's not fair. And we didn't want to just blacklist them either. Because we could do that too, right? Blacklist them and then just go forward with the contract. But that's not really fair either to do. So, whatever. We'll just shut it down, and then we'll redeploy a new contract and get it out to everybody. It's the same one, right? It's the same coding and same structure. It's just a different, contract altogether. Just copy and paste and put it on there. But it'll be a new contract with 0 holders, and we'll just make sure that we can't get anybody attached to the router attached and push a swap through the router when it's shut down. So, anyhow, so that's it. Been a long day trying to get that stuff done, but I wanted to at least come on here and give you guys a little bit of clarity on what that was for, what it, what that kind of looks like, in an effort to be transparent. And we're kind of rolling the dice and pushing it out and pushing it out. And I wanted to at least put something out on Twitter, but then also follow up and talk to you guys a little bit too, so we have a little bit more clarity on why we did what we did. So hopefully everybody kind of understands it. I'll take a couple of quick questions, and I'm going to hop off because I'm burnt out. But yeah, let's see here. I kind of was trying to let Dave know a little bit what's going on in between, but I'll bring him on here as a speaker. You can ask your questions. Maybe you can, if you got a question you want to ask Dave. And again, I'm just going to go down the list. I'm not hand picking anybody. I'm just going through here.
No, all I wanted to say is when I joined the Army, I made $400 a month. Hey, thanks for delaying it. The community had a lot of concerns about that. And I know I sent you a DM and hey, the community's got issues with this. And I think most of the community does appreciate that you've delayed this, and we'll wait for it and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I got a lot of DMs too from people like, hey, you know what? Just delay it because everybody's tired. Nobody wants to miss out. I know that people like in the UK and stuff, they waited up till 4 a.m, and I'm so sorry you guys did that. And I feel like maybe you wasted your time. And we apologize for that, but we got to look at everything from, a 10,000 foot view and do what's best for the community. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And I'm sure you guys are like, oh, whatever, same shit, blowing smoke. But no, it really is, and we're just trying to do what's best and what's the fairest option at this point, right? And sometimes what's the most fair or fairest doesn't always make sense or accommodate everybody, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, and $400 a month, that sounds about right, man.
Yo, Russ, I just want to say, the Wolfpack stands behind you. Keep up the good work, the hard work. We've waited this long. We could wait another day or even a week. I love the people that are selling right now because I just created even a bigger position. And, I see the vision. The Wolfpack sees the vision, and we're going to get through this together. And I just appreciate the whole team and the community. And let's keep pushing.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even looking at the chart, but if people sell, it's kind of silly because we're going to launch the token. It's not like we're canceling it. We're still going to launch it. And when we do launch it, guess what? You still got to have Saitama to buy it. So, I mean, if buy back later at a higher price or whatever, I don't know. It's whatever. Everybody can do what they want to do, I suppose. But yeah, we got to do what's the most appropriate. So yeah, and it's an appendage of our platform and our and what Saitama is. It's just an appendage of our ecosystem. So we had the network. People were getting network errors because we shut it down internally. So we could restructure and add some liquidity, and of course, you guys saw the pairings being created on there. So as we're rewriting the contract and redeploying it, we'll open it back up. Everybody, the swap and everything else works just fine. So that's something that we shut off internally. So even though I try to tell people that several times throughout the day, people will message me like, hey, "I'm getting a network error." I'm like, I know, because we're restricting it, but we're going to open it back up for everybody.
With
So
gas
if I
that
made you
low,
guys a
we'll
speaker,
just
go ahead.
keep buying the dip.
What's that?
With gas fees that low, we'll all just keep buying that dip. So
No, yeah, absolutely. It's easy. Gas fees. I was made a couple of swaps earlier, man. It was crazy. I think at one point I paid like $12 or something. I mean, I know a lot of you guys were around when, I think, was it probably like sometime last year. I think I was like $800 to $900 one day gas fees. That is absolutely insane. Like you got to buy like 5 or 6 Ethereum of something just to make that kind of gas fees comparable. Like it's crazy. So yeah.
a question for you, Russ. By the way, thank you for delaying it. I appreciate it. It's been a long week and I'm exhausted. So I actually love that you delayed it. Thank you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Do you have any idea when you're planning to launch, just so we can kind of gauge? I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, and if you don't have a time or whatever, that's fine too.
Yeah, I mean, so they'll redeploy the contract over the weekend. Max said there was a couple things that he wanted to look at over the weekend as well. So I would anticipate anything like tomorrow or Sunday. I would, and I don't want to speculate, but yeah, I mean, it would probably be a couple days. If I'm thinking, realistically, probably a few days. I know they wanted to, like I said, take a look at a few things. They're trying to figure out how. I mean, it's easy for someone to push a swap through the router, on any platform, but our network was shut down, so they'll probably, want to take a look at that and patch a hole before we redeploy another contract. So they'll get it ready and code it out and test it and stuff this weekend on testnet, and then take a look at that over the weekend. And I would say, yeah, without putting any hard dates or anything on it, give us a few days to take a look at it. But we'll give everybody a heads up and plenty of time and ample notice to get themselves lined up and prepared, and obviously not at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. or however what time it is for you guys right now. At a more suitable time, like it should have been this afternoon.
Yeah, no pressure or rush at all. Really, my question was just because I don't want to miss it. I think that a majority of us are perfectly fine waiting. We want to make sure that everything is, safe and secure. And, we thank you and support you guys. And we just mostly just want to make sure that we're all aware of when it will launch so we don't miss it. That's the most important.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we won't do like a stealth launch or anything, and that was and having the contract address out there doesn't have anything to do with anything, right? Like if it's on our platform, like I said, and you push it through the router, how a few people, and it was only, like I said, 20 out of however, what, 300,000 registered users we have. You have to know what you're doing. So someone was able to get in there, just a couple wallets, and pick up some coins, and even though it was just a couple, that's still a couple people that were able to get in before anybody, and that would probably sell, right? And that's going to create some FUD because they got it at 11 zeros because we changed it from 10 to 11. We were going to put like the updated price point out for you guys and all that stuff. So they got it at 11, and then it immediately dropped to 0. Right? Okay, well, if we allow people to buy it, these 20 wallets are going to dump within an hour, and then people are going to just not that's not a fair launch to anybody. So even though it's a very small number, it's still not acceptable. Like that's not a fair launch. So right, you know what? Let's shut it down. Let's create a new smart contract and do it the right way. So, and yeah, we want it, and it's no rush, right? It's not going anywhere. Our platform's here, the coin's there. We want to make sure everybody has full ability and capability to get on there and do what they want to do. So yeah, no problem. I know some people will be like, no, we wanted it now, but it's okay.
Well, thank you. It's appreciated.
Yeah, no worries. My man, Willie D, what's up, man? You're gonna preach to the choir here, really? Yeah, I made you a speaker if you want to give us some good sermon.
Okay, my mic is on now, right?
Yep, you're good now. You talking to yourself?
All right, what's up, Wolfpack? What's up, Russ?
What's up, man?
I just want to thank you for all of the transparency and just encourage people to keep that old adage in mind that good things come to those who wait. Patience is a virtue, and all that other good stuff. I can tell you that I've been privy to knowing exactly what's going on as far as behind the scenes, as far as all of the hard work is concerned. I'm totally confident in the dev team and the entire team that's behind this project. I wouldn't have put my name behind it if I wasn't. Last time, I want to just share this little thing and I'll get out of the way. The last time that I was frustrated, with the launch, and I was trying to get in and I was having all kind of complications. It took me about 3 or 4 hours, but I was persistent because I knew that was a good project, and I knew that it was going to be something special. And it turned out like within 4 days, I hit like a 30x. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be the case here, but I feel very confident that this is going to be a good project, and it's going to make a lot of people a whole lot of money. So I'm patient. I'm good with it. But I'm just like y'all, though. I'm just like everybody else out there. I'm anxious. I'm ready to get it going. But hey, we're behind you, man. Wolfpack, where you at? Oh,
there you go, man. You heard it. No, yeah, we're excited, man. And we really wanted to get it out today. And I think everything that we try to do gets pushed back. It seems like, and it's not on purpose. I promise you. Like I know it probably feels like man, y'all just do this stuff on purpose. And I promise you, it's not. But it comes down to that we want to do things the right way. Sometimes, if we don't feel like it's happening the way that we want it to, it's easier for us to just shut it down. Like, nope, I don't like the way this is turning out. Like at the end of the day, you got to go with your gut sometimes, and then sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, man, is to go with your intuition. And then be like, you know what, it doesn't feel right. Let's shut it down. Let's push it back, because that's never the answer that everyone wants to hear. But being able to go with your gut and your intuition and following that instinct is always the hardest thing. You're gonna get some bad press, right? But if you still like, hey, you gotta stand your ground and be like, hey, this is what we know is best, and we're gonna do it. So, and I think, anyways, and most people, anyways, too. I've got a lot of messages like, you know what, hey, let's just push this thing back, man. It's late. Nobody wanted to miss out on it, right? And a lot of people probably just went to sleep too, and they will wake up tomorrow and be bummed because they missed it. So. Yeah, it's what's best, man. So, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, this was the best move, man. That was the best move. Y'all made a good call on that, and hey, man, we'll get some sleep, man, and wake up refreshed and go at it again whenever whenever you guys say it's time to go. It's green light. Hey, it's all systems go.
That's it, man. That's it. So now we'll have plenty of time. We'll give everybody a heads up and ready to go and make sure the swap function is open, network's open for everybody, no more network issues. Obviously, again, like I said, we had shut that down internally, so it's not like there was an issue with the Saita mask. We just restricted that kind of stuff. So, so we'll open it back up. And
hey, I wish
allow some of the trading pairs on there.
Hey, one little dig though, right quick. I wish I could see the faces of the people that got in early that tried to like manipulate the system, and they thought they were all the way in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're gonna find out that it ain't gonna be worth much. You know, they'll recreate the contract
That's
and
that's
be like,
funny,
well,
man.
shit. Yeah.
Hilarious,
Yeah.
hilarious.
And he's like, hey, we got in, man. We got in early. And then the next thing you know, it'd be like a whole new smart contract. And like, well. But yeah, no, it's not like a simple swap. Like in order to do that, like it's a little bit more complex than that. Like it's possible, obviously, because if you know how to do it, you can get in there and do it. But like a normal person, like even like myself, right, I wouldn't be able to get into the Saita mask and go through the network and then attach it to the router and like force a swap through the router. Like I wouldn't know how to do that. I'm just not tech savvy enough. But there's obviously a lot of people out there that are savvy enough to do that. And it's not necessarily full on malicious, right? It's just it's like a gambler's edge, right? Like just cheating just a little bit. Like, you know what? I'm going to cheat just a little bit to get ahead of the game, like get a little head start off first base. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, but we shut that down. I had to referee it. Like, no, come on back, man. Come on back. You don't get that big of a lead. We got to make this as fair as possible. So, yeah, we'll just write a new smart contract, get it out, and down the road we go, man. No biggie.
Right.
No biggie.
I got you, man.
But yeah, we'll get everybody enough heads up notice and do it. So I'll let these guys work on it over the weekend, even though they probably won't want to, right? Because it's the weekend. But hey, shit, gotta keep grinding, man. Gotta keep grinding. We don't get weekends around here, man. Every day is a Monday. So we'll get right back to it tomorrow. But we actually we have some stuff too that we want to put out on Monday. So I'm gonna get with Aaron and try and figure out what we're gonna do with that, if we want to move things around or whatever. But we got lots of stuff going on next week too. So that's another reason why we really wanted to get this out today, because we got some marketing stuff that we wanted to roll out next week. So we're going to kind of shift our schedule around a little bit, but it's going to be jam packed in this next couple of weeks, because we got a bunch of stuff going on next week. And then obviously, as you guys know, we got the Dubai Expo coming up the week after. So the next 2 weeks is going to be jam packed for us. We got all kinds of stuff coming out that we're working on. So we really wanted to kick this off the right way, get it moving, and then move forward. But we'll move things around. We'll move a few days around and get this stuff sorted out, so it all makes sense and kind of blend in together for everyone. But did you? I see here. I got. I called a couple of y'all. If you guys have questions, man, just go ahead and fire them away. Let me add a couple more people on here. I'm just pushing buttons, man. I'm not even just going down the list.
I have another question. My DMs are insane with people who want me to ask you questions, and I won't do that to you, I promise. But I do have a question for you from King JB, who can't come up and talk right now. And
Okay.
he's just curious when the other pairs will be live, if you have any idea of that.
Yeah, so they were working on that today, and then we had all this stuff going on. So I would venture to say that they'll make those live this weekend. So they're going to, obviously release all the restrictions that we had on the wallet. I don't know if they're going to do that tonight or not, because all our engineering team's on the East Coast, and they're still at the office, so they're probably dying to get home. But they can remove the restrictions and put the other pairings and stuff on there. It's not too difficult. I know they created a lot of the pairs already. It's just about putting the liquidity back on there and running a few checks, making sure everything's good, and then put them on there. They were actually going to get them on right after the launch. We were supposed to launch at 4, and then they were going to roll right into getting those pairings available for everybody on the swap. So I would imagine they'd probably do it sometime this weekend, but I'll have to get some clarity from Max on that, because it kind of threw a wrench in what we were doing today. So, but yeah, that should be something that somebody else can be working on the side while they're recreating and redeploying the smart contract for this one. I added a couple more of you guys as speakers. So if you see the speaker icon on the bottom left or whatever, if you're a speaker, you can just fire away a couple questions. We'll do like 2 or 3 more questions, and I'm spent, man. But we'll do a few.
Real quick, Russ. Appreciate you guys calling it off and just giving it more time so everybody can get in. I think that's much needed and great. With that said, you talked about restricting the network earlier. I wanted to see. I myself and a few other people have made multiple multiple transitions onto Saitama out of our other wallets. And 2 of mine haven't showed up on SataMask. I'm assuming that's because those networks were restricted, and that'll be taken care of.
Yep. Yeah. So if you had a transaction on there, or you were trying to create a new wallet, or if you were trying to really do much of anything during that time period, it won't. It would have kicked you out or given you some sort of error code or something like that. So yeah, once we remove all those restrictions and lift everything, it'll be back to normal. Everything will normalize. So if you did a transaction or you sent some coins there, they'll show up once we remove the restrictions. And it's on the blockchain, right? So if you see it on Etherscan as being completed,
Right.
then it's there.
Right.
We just got to remove the restrictions. So
Okay.
yeah,
Cool. Thank you.
It'll all be on there. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Yep. We got a couple more people there. If you guys have questions, just go ahead and shoot them off, man. Let's see here. I'll add a couple more speakers on here. I'm just going down the list, man. So, all right, well, that's good. So if you guys are able to speak, go ahead and ask a few questions, then we'll wrap it up, man.
Hey, I'm not.
Hey, what's up,
Yeah,
man?
hey, how's it going? I'm not a fan of delays because I'm and Kel Bell, she doesn't speak for people like me, the
Yep.
label fudders, and I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
fudder because I'm an investor, but
Uh-huh.
I'm not satisfied. We were given, things just keep getting pushed back, and everybody just keeps just staying happy and stuff, but it's like it's very frustrating because I got off at 5 today expecting to
Yeah.
trade and then nothing. And then now it's like push back a couple more days. It's still that uncertainty. So it's very
Sure.
frustrating.
Nah, I get you, man. Like I'm not trying to say you're in the wrong for having that feeling, man. Not at all. Like I'm frustrated. Like you're frustrated. Trust me. Amplify that by 100. That's how frustrated I am because I mean, I've been working on this
But
thing
I
for months.
and I feel you and I respect that you've been working on it. But for me, it's like I'm trusting the process, but I don't see the process. So it's like
Sure.
for you to you have access to the information, you can see it the day to day. You
Yeah.
I'm relying on you, and it's like I keep getting delays, and it's just like imagine how I
Yeah. I
feel.
mean, no, I got you. It's difficult from the outside perspective, right? To try to understand, like, well, why? Like, why are we getting delayed? Like, all you guys are doing is delaying or delaying or delaying. And it is. It's easier for me from the inside to look in and be like, hey, I know it's delayed because of X, Y, and Z. Right? So I try to come in and reiterate that to you guys, like, this is why we delayed it. Instead of just putting out a simple tweet like, hey, we delayed it. It's none of your business why. Right? Like, we want to try and tell you guys why it was late and why we made the decision to push it back. Um, knowing that we would frustrate people, right? Because we're frustrated. I would rather have had to go off at 4 o'clock this afternoon, no problems, everything's smooth, everybody's happy. But unfortunately, not everything happens that way, and there is going to be delays, and there's not a whole lot that we can do about it, right? We just take what we can and do what we can with what we had, and and try to make it as seamless as possible. And it's not always the case, right? So I understand the frustration because I'm frustrated. I think we all are frustrated at some point. Like we all trust the process. We all know where it's going to go long term. But naturally we're impatient, right? We want it to happen now. We want it to happen yesterday. And you're not wrong for feeling that way at all. Like I'm not saying you shouldn't because you're totally entitled to that. And I would be frustrated as well because if I'm frustrated, you guys probably are too. So I get it, man. I truly do. And again, you're not wrong for feeling that way. And the only thing I can do, as a developer is to try to be transparent and come out and say, hey, this is why it's delayed, right? It's not delayed because we're incompetent. It's not delayed because we're lazy. It's not, we're not delaying it because we want to see people frustrated or we want to disappoint people. That's not the case at all. We just have to do at the end of the day what we feel is right for the whole community, for the project itself, under the whole umbrella, like everything collectively, and what it means for our future. And if it means delaying it because it makes more sense to do that because there's more pros to delaying it than there is cons, then that's something that we just have to do, knowing that people are going to be frustrated, and I get it. And again, it's difficult from the outside perspective to look in and know that information. So that's why I try to, be open with you guys and tell you the hows and the whys of a lot of the decisions that we make. And it's not again, it's not out of incompetence whatsoever. It's just out of safety and security, or it's one or a million different reasons why things don't happen exactly how we want them to. So, but I get it, man. You're frustrated. We're all frustrated. You're not wrong at all to have those feelings, and it's okay to say that. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I'm frustrated too. I think we all are. But we still gotta keep our heads down, man, and keep working. And that's what we do. Anybody else have any questions? Let's see here. Angry mechanic, man. All mechanics are angry, I thought, and everyone I talk to, they're all angry until I get my bank card out, and then they're happy. I opened up a couple of you guys for questions, but if you want
Hey,
to ask,
Russ.
go ahead. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, not a whole lot, man. I just want to say thanks for your guys' hard work. You guys are doing something that has never been done before. I appreciate your guys' attention to detail. I appreciate your transparency. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves while you're working this hard. I know you guys are putting in long hours and you have family time and everything. All the butters out there, just be patient. I mean, we got the faith of everybody, Russ, and we have faith in you. So I just want to say thank you, and thank you for the transparency. We're all kind of just sitting and wondering, and you came on and you just told us what was going on straight up. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's true, and I'm not trying to get people like feel sorry for me or anything, because we knew what we were getting into in the beginning. I mean, but just for example, I guess it was like my 10-year anniversary, and we were supposed to go out of town today at like 3 to go to to ranch or something, or ride horses, mess around, whatever.
Yeah,
But we had to cancel, right, because this thing was not looking to be on track, and we were trying to patch holes and do some damage control and everything else like that. So I mean, luckily my family's really supportive, and my wife understands. We've been together long enough, and she knows how passionate I get about things like this, and I wouldn't be able to relax and have a good time, and enjoy our company, knowing that something was going on that I needed to address, right? Because I ultimately we're responsible, right? We're responsible for 300 plus thousand people, and that's something that I take very seriously.
I hear you.
And not just for money, it's just because I'm obligated to, right? I don't want to let down anybody, and I sure as shit ain't gonna let down 300 plus thousand people. Like, that's not in my character. It's not part of who I am, right?
Right,
So
right. And I hate to cut you off. It's just I heard that term being thrown again, like that FUD thing. That grinds
mhm.
my gears, because I know individuals like that, they're only creating division within like investors. And it's like, dude, a person isn't trying to make another person feel uncertain about an investment, because that's that person. Everybody has their own opinion about why they invested in something, or why they believe in a product, or whatever it may be, a crypto currency. So a person is not necessarily trying to dissuade another individual by sharing their opinion. Because I just feel like every time I hear that, oh, the fudders, it's like, dude, we're all in this together. If you claiming you're part of and I'm not, this is not to you, Russ, but just uh, like I said, man, frustration. But to keep constantly hearing that type of talk, man, dude, where what do you think this is, like, to just assume that a person is spreading fear and uncertainty by sharing their opinion about something? Because you have your opinion about something. I have,
Mhm.
we all have our perspective about it. So it doesn't mean that I'm negative, because I can say the same thing about you. I can say the same thing about you, or not you, but the person who's saying that I'm, or somebody spreading FUD, I can say that you are being phony, or you are being, so
Yeah,
it's like, should we take it back to elementary school, or should we just be adults and
yeah.
respective?
Well,
You know?
it's true. I mean, honestly, so there's a few different ways that you can kind of quote unquote FUD, right? And you can really do it about any project if you wanted to. I mean, you could pick any project and find something to FUD about. You really can. Whether it's a tunnel we have to delay our state realty, which I'm sure people will FUD about, or anything that we do that they don't agree with. But it's all about, there's a difference between fighting and then being critical, right? Or being, having some criticism towards the project. And it's okay to be critical. It's okay to have criticism, because you're an investor and you expect certain things. And if you feel like that's not being met, right, you can be critical, and you say, okay, well, I'm an investor and I'm concerned because I thought these things were going to go the way that they went or they're supposed to go, and when they don't, you're allowed to be critical of that. You're allowed to raise concern and have some criticism to that. But if you're just kind of taking a small campfire and dumping gasoline on it and just hoarding it with negativity, really you're not doing anything but creating a negative atmosphere around it, and not just for that specific project, but for crypto in general, because now you're raising doubt about everything in the space, not necessarily that project, but just in general in all crypto projects. You're just creating a negative approach to everything, because you can essentially take the same complaint about Saitama and almost target it to any other crypto project out there, because they all have delays. If we have a delay, every coin I've ever been invested in has some sort of delay at some point in time. So we could essentially put that on anyone, but that's not constructive criticism. That's just being negative. But it's out there, and there's not, again, it's a lot of immaturity, and there's not a lot we can do about that, unfortunately. I mean, it's gotten a lot worse as of recently. I don't know if it's because there's some sort of territorial thing involved. Because there's a lot of different coins that are trying to do a lot of different things, and at one point in time, every single one of them is going to face some kind of, criticism or a delay, or something that the investors don't truly feel is going or panning out the way that they want. Or you're putting it under a microscope and kind of picking it apart. You can do that, right? But then when you start to amplify that and you start to bring a lot of negativity to it, it doesn't really do a lot of good. But it's still, everyone is entitled to their opinion and allowed to do that. If someone's feeling negative about something, you're allowed to address your concerns regarding that. But there's also a very mature and professional way to go about doing that. And most of the time, you'll get a positive response if you approach it with a positive attitude, or at least an adult, mature one.
So hey, let me jump in right quick.
Let
me jump in right quick. So, what's the guy's name that was just you were speaking to, Russ?
Yeah, Philip. My name is Philip.
Okay, Philip. Like when I listen to you talk, that didn't sound like FUD to me. So I think you probably like just be taking that a little too personal. I heard FUD and I know what it sounds like. You didn't sound like FUD. You just sounded like a concerned investor, and you approached it very respectful. You wasn't honorary about it. You wasn't angry about it. You was frustrated about it, and I heard that, and you were still in. It's like that's not FUD. That FUD is when people just jump on, like Russ say, they go overboard with the negativity and start like throwing stuff out there and trying to add on to the doubt. We already, with Saitama, we already have enough real live haters out there. I mean, they're out there attacking us on a daily basis. So as investors, it's incumbent upon us. If we want to see a return on our investment, if we want to see the community continue to grow, then we need to make sure that we're cognizant of that, and we don't get into our personal feelings about it and throw something out there that might create some type of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We got to make sure that we don't add on to that at all, because they doing enough damage out there, and we still standing, we're still striving, we're still way ahead, we're still one of the fastest growing coins in the community, even with all of the delays, even with the setbacks, even with all of the attacks from the highs and the lows. We're still one of the best cryptocurrencies in the game. We still got one of the best teams in the game. Hey. So it's like Russ said, like everybody experienced delays, all the major companies, even Apple. I'm a major Apple supporter, and they get delays all the time. But I know when it finally happens, they're gonna deliver. And that's the way that I look at this whole Saitama project.
Real quick, Willie D.
Yeah.
Respectfully, I just don't appreciate somebody coming in here and saying they're not a fudder and trying to start things. If you go to this guy's entire page, it's talking shit about Russ and his entire character and the Saitama.
I can speak. I'm right here.
I was gonna say it's
No. That's why I'm here.
Timeline is
No. Hold on. Let me just respond to anybody who has a problem with me. I've been here since July. I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to cut you off, anime. Because I can stand on anything I do. Anything that you have a problem with that's on my page, that's the frustration that you're hearing me speak on at this moment. So if you call that FUD, that's your opinion. Me, that's how I feel. If I was trying to spread doubt to anyone, I wouldn't be saying that I'm not. I can stand on anything I say and do. So it's yeah.
All,
I don't come here for that, man.
all I'm saying is, if anybody goes and looks at your entire page,
I could care less about your opinion about what you see. I can look on your page and tell you what I feel about you as well. I'm just letting you know you're using that word. You have your I guess you however you
No one
define that.
used that
well,
word to describe you.
I'm just saying, don't
That
come up
word to
here
describe.
and be all nice and then have on your page Russ is
No. I'm not being.
a
And
fucking liar and a piece
I'm
of shit.
glad you're saying this,
Don't
dude.
One
don't
of
I
do
us
don't
that.
owe
said
you.
that
I
about
don't
you,
owe you
though.
any respect, man. I don't know you. You don't know me. I don't owe you no respect. I'm not coming here being nice. I'm sharing my opinion in a respectful manner. I'm not, and I don't owe it to you, anime.
Well, don't say you want to come in here and act like a high
I didn't
school.
say nothing. I hopped in, dude. This ain't your space.
Your whole page is saying Russ is full.
Yeah, my whole page is my page. Stay
And
off
he's
of it.
a piece of
Yeah, I
shit.
don't know you. You don't know me.
Respectfully, no,
Yeah, respectfully,
no,
no. Yeah, same to
no,
you.
not happening. Not happening. Sorry.
All
Dude,
right.
and you sound like you're brainwashed.
Hey, all right. Well, we don't want to have all that. Anyways, I just came on here, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. I really, like I said, I got big enough shoulders, man. I'll let anybody stand on them or have whatever they want to say about me personally, because honestly, I mean, you guys, nobody here knows me personally. So, I mean, if anybody is saying personal things about me, I don't know how you come up with that assumption, because none of us here are on a personal level. The only one that's here that's ever really met me in person to an extent is really deep, because we've met several times when we hang out. But anybody else is that personal jazz towards me. You don't know me personally, so you can't say that. And I'm not saying you, sir. I'm not saying you. I haven't even been to your page. I couldn't tell you. I'm just saying in general. Nobody knows me like that on a personal level. So if somebody were to say, theoretically, Russell's a liar, how do you know that? You don't know me. Like, we don't know each other on that level. I have never lied to anybody. If I come in here and say, hey, we're going to launch Saita Realty at 4 o'clock, I'm not lying to you. That's when we were trying to launch it at 4 o'clock. We had some delays, which is causing us to rewrite the smart contract, which I came in here and addressed. So does that make me a liar? No. Right? If you buy a car and say, hey, it runs great, and you go down the road and the transmission drops out, is a car dealership a liar? No, shit just happens, right? And then you just move on as you take it back and back. Hey, I've just bought this car brand new. You said it worked fine, and the transmission blew out. The dealership say, you're like, you know what? Shit happens. Let's hook you up with a new one, or let's get that tranny fixed. It's the same concept in here, and it's the same concept in business. So you have to kind of roll that out. You can't allow personal vendettas or your emotions to take place in this space, because there's no room for it, right? We all have to be professional, and we all need to carry on like adults and push things out, right? So I understand there is frustration. Right? If anybody's frustrated, it's going to be me and the other developers. I know everybody else is also frustrated, but I'm telling you, magnify that by 100, and that's where we're at. But that doesn't mean that we got to just throw in the towel, or we got to give up or give in, right? We're just like, hey, you know what? Shit does happen. Let's readdress this. Let's take a step back. Let's put this out the right way, redeploy this contract, get it out, and appease the masses. Because at the end of the day, we're just trying to do things the right way. So that's part of what that takes, and that's part of the process. So anyway, so I'm not trying to, create any kind of negative cesspool or any of that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to come on here and kind of, give you guys a heads up and reiterate, what we've put out.
Absolutely, Russ. But to put down you and your character and all you've done for this community, the true Wolfpack has your back, and we're not going to deal with that here.
I got you.
So, Bardo asked if you can come up.
Let me see if I can find him. Oh, there he is. What's up, Bardo, man? How you doing? Says it's gonna. Oh, there you go. Are you on there? Should be able to speak.
Can you see me?
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, brother, how you going, mate? Hey, everyone in this room, like I look at like family. They're Wolfpack to me, and I appreciate people like Anime. If you consider the Wolfpack as family, you don't go talking to people like that. I understand people address situations and frustration differently, but that's just not on. It all started with disrespecting your wife, Russell, which is long gone, and we've moved from there. But these sort of guys, man, like If they consider the Wolfpack family, you don't go on and talk like that about individuals, bro. You're doing a great job. And I'm sure not one person in this room here has satisfied 300,000 people before. It's a big job. And no matter what you do, you're always going to have the ones that complain. So yes, me, Anime, and everyone in this room will stand by you. We consider it as family. And those sort of people, we don't have room for them. All right? So thanks for letting us speak. We're family. Let's get this shit together.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I think there is one person that satisfied 300,000 people. I think that was Magic Johnson, man. You guys were around back then. I think he satisfied close to 300,000. It had to have been close to, man. He's got the record. But
That was Will Chamberlain.
Oh yeah, Will Chamberlain, man. I think what did he have? I read somewhere that he had like 30 kids or something like that, something crazy, man. But yeah, he probably up there. But no, it's true, man. We just gotta stick together through it, man. And I'm not trying to, I'm not throwing people under the bus. Like I said, I don't know all you guys on like a personal level. So if anybody is out there personally attacking me, like I don't know how, like I don't know you personally. If you're basing your assumption, your tweets off of something that you read, that I had tweeted, or how you think I'm running this company, and that doesn't really, that doesn't justify my demeanor or my personality, my character, or any of that. I'm over 4 years old, and the things that I've tried to do in my life, in the last 4 years, is to bring people up. I've made a lot of people very successful as I came up in my life. I've helped more than I've, disturbed. That's how I live my life, one day at a time, and trying to help other people. So trying to say that something I'm not, like I'm not going to take offense to it, because I know at the end of the day what my capabilities are and what I'm trying to do, and and none of those are bad things. None of them are negative. And you guys that have been around and said Tom long enough and know that I don't do this for any other reason but to try to create something special and unique for everybody that's a part of it. And, no part of it is for any sort of personal gain for myself, other than the satisfaction of knowing that we created something and we brought as many people as we could with us to do it. We're about creating change and adopting into the space that we know crypto is going to become, and we're all very early into it. Right? I'm passionate about crypto, and I'm passionate about this project, and I'm passionate about this community, and that's what I live by, and that's why I get up every day and do what I need to do. So, if there is negative things out there, floating around about me, I just let them slide right off, man, just like water off a duck's ass. It don't mean nothing to me. Like, I know my drive and my purpose and what we're trying to do, and that's the focus. Right? You can't shift focus or get drawn off track or get led astray. Right? We gotta just stay the vision, stay the course, and push through. And then at the end of the day, we'll be the ones at the finish line. We'll be laughing, right? We want to encourage people along the way, and to get to the finish line with us. Some are going to lose faith, and that's okay. We can't please everyone, but the ones that stick it through and take this wild ride with us, those are the ones that will be ultimately rewarded. So I can't. I could come up here and preach all day, every day, but ones that don't believe, they're not going to believe, and that's okay too, because that's the beauty of cryptos. You don't have to, right? Nobody's forcing you into doing anything. If you want to invest or you don't, totally up to you. That's the beauty of it, right? You want to get like, oh, well, I've lost faith, and say, Tom, I'm going to go over here to this project. Cool, man. I wish you the best of luck. I really do. But I promise you, there's going to be some issues there too. They're going to have delays. And what are you going to do then? Like, well, shit, I'm going to go over here to the next one, and that's the fastest way to lose money, to be honest with you. And I've been in this game long enough to know that, to where you start chasing green candles, that's doesn't usually end up well. I mean, unless you're extremely lucky, and if you're that lucky, shit, you're better off in Vegas. You just put everything on red or black, because that's your best odds right there. But anyhow, I didn't want to come here too long. It's been a long day, and you guys have been up and at it too, waiting for this release. So I wanted to at least just come on here real quick, talk to everybody, give you just a quick little overview of what we're doing today. So, for those of you guys that just jumped in, we're going to redeploy the smart contract over the weekend. We're going to open up the restrictions that we had put on the Saita mass, so you guys will be able to, go in there and do your swaps and stuff like that. We had it restricted, so these guys probably went to bed, but when they get up in the morning and start working on this stuff, we'll get everything squared away, and the network reopened up, and put some liquidity for those other tokens that are already on there, and move forward with that and redeploy the Saita Realty token. And we'll give everybody a heads up, in plenty of time when we want to relaunch it. Like I said, I wouldn't imagine it being anytime this weekend. They got a couple things Max and the team said he wanted to take a look at first. So we'll give them some time to let them do that. I'm not trying to rush them. I don't think anybody's in a huge hurry. Right? We wanted to really get it out tonight, but obviously that didn't happen. So we're not trying to rush it out just to run into an issue or anything tomorrow. We're surely not going to say, oh, we're going to do it tomorrow at 5, and then keep everybody up for several hours. So I'll let these guys give it. They're the ones again too. Like I'm not our CTO. Like I don't run that side. He's got a whole team of engineers. And I just kind of relay the information. I know enough about what they're doing and what's going on. But I'm not in the bullpen with them, right? Like I'm not, pushing the keys and moving the mouse. Like these are the guys that are the gears in this engine. So if they tell me, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're looking at, the best thing I can do, from this standpoint is to take that information and regurgitate it to you guys and put try to put some, positive spin on it and, relay it in norm terms, because they tell me all this technical stuff. And I'm like, all right, nobody's going to understand that. Let me try to regurgitate it in a manner to where everybody will know what's really going on and how we can kind of address it and what we're planning to do to kind of mitigate that. So anyhow, so I hope you guys have a good night and a good weekend, and we'll touch base over the weekend and let you guys know where we're at, and hopefully we'll have a little bit better understanding of our game plan moving forward. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff next week that we're working on, not Saita Realty related, that Aaron wants to kind of work on and put out. We got a couple press releases that we've been working on that we wanted to get out on Monday. So we'll look at our timeline and see when we want to get those out. And then of course, the Dubai Expo. So we still got lots of things that we're trying to put on. We're just now having to shift a couple of things around with this. So everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy your weekend with your families. Don't stress out. Everybody be chill, and down the road we go. So I appreciate you guys coming on, and again for your patience. And for those of you guys that waited up way too late, I'm sorry, man. Sleep is never good to deprive yourself of, and I'm sure that a lot of people on this call are now deprived of their sleep. So sorry about that. I am one of those people. I'm going to put myself in that category too. But now